Hey, what's going on, guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Division 2 video, and today I want to share a really awesome build with you that we've been working on. It's a lot of fun, it's kind of unconventional, makes use of a skill that doesn't get a great deal of attention, but it is a skill that I absolutely love. I loved it from the moment I tested it out for the first time in Division 2, and that is of course the Bombardier Drone. It is basically, if you set it up correctly, like having a pocket AC-130. It just rains down explosions on your enemies, it deals a massive amount of damage, even to players in the Dark Zone, and if you guys are Monster Hunter players, then this is basically your Basil Geese build. So, with that being said, if you guys want to find out how this works, then sit back, relax, and let's get started. If you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know if you've had any fun messing around with some slightly unconventional skills. And of course, if you haven't entered our giveaway for a chance to win a content creator pack from the guys over at Nerd or Die, everything you see on screen right now, console, webcam, mic, capture card, all that good stuff. The link to the competition is in the description box down below. Now, to begin with, let's start by talking about the skills, because that is basically the crux of this build. Some builds focus more on weapons, some builds focus more on particular talents. This, admittedly, all of that stuff will fall in place, but the key pillar stone of this build is, of course, the Bombardier Drone. That is the variant of the drone, and I appreciate if you've used it for the first time, it might seem a little bit slow, it might seem, especially given the cooldown, that it might not be that viable, but if you do set it up correctly, you can drastically reduce that cooldown, and you can then pair it with some good talents to give you situations where you can effectively refresh it instantly. Pair that with a lot of explosive damage, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess where this is going. So obviously the Bombardier Drone is your primary choice, and with this one we've actually got a couple of blast radius mods, some pretty good ones on this one, because blast radius for this, the bigger it is, the harder it is for enemies to run away, the harder it is for players to run away. So again, pretty sure you guys can work out why that's helpful. And of course, on top of that, your second skill, admittedly in this situation, it is kind of up to you. We've actually put the Seeker Mine in here, the explosive variant, simply because this is a heavily explosive build and it's just another chance to blow things up. That being said, if survivability was, say, a concern for you, then you could throw in a healing skill. Alternatively, as we'll touch on a little bit later, you could also throw in something like a turret if you wanted a skill that maybe stays out for a little bit longer. But again, we'll cover why a little bit later. Now, it goes without saying that, of course, your specialization choice this time around will be Demolitionist, because it comes with that added explosive damage plus 25%, which is going to be integral to this build, so definitely Demolitionist should be a choice for you. On the weapon front, now, the weapon specifically is again kind of up to you, because this isn't really a weapon-focused build. We have two SMGs here because they actually give us the talents that we want. You could obviously pair this with something with slightly more range, given that the drone does afford you the ability to attack from range in combat, so you don't need an SMG, you can kind of pick your favorite ones, but what you really want to focus on here are the talents. In this situation, MP5ST for us has Spike, which is just a headshot skill, Jazz Hands, which is reload speed, but in Rhythm is the important one. This is a holstered talent, and while equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns, and this can occur once every 60 seconds. Now, standalone, this isn't going to be hugely game-changing, but paired with everything else we have, it is just another nice thing to add to your arsenal. It's another nice thing to further reduce skill cooldowns. I will say that I kind of would have preferred it if this talent was maybe like 30 seconds, because once every minute seems a little bit strict, but hey, these are the cards we've been dealt, so that's what we're running with. As for the Vector, first two talents aren't really that important, but we do have Rooted as the holster talent, which, while equipped in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds, and the buff is lost when you exit cover, so, you know, throw it out, hide behind cover, let your drone do some work, that's all good fun. Now, as for your gear, largely speaking, across the board here, we are stacking a load of skill power and a load of explosive damage wherever possible. There are, of course, some key set bonuses here. So for the mask, we have the Providence Defense piece. We also have a Providence Defense holster. So, of course, having two of these gives us plus 10% skill power and plus 8% health. Skill power, of course, being the thing that we care about there. The mask, of course, has additional skill power, plus 163. It has some damage to elites, and it also has destructive, which is plus 20% explosive damage. And as for that holster, that comes with some additional health, but it also comes with plenty more skill power. As for the chest, you have the Alps Summit armament. We only need one piece for this because that gives us plus 10% cooldown reduction, and it also has a few other things, but most notably, destructive again for more explosive damage, and a utility mod, which gives you plus skill power. For the backpack and the gloves, we're going Araldi Holdings. These ones, admittedly, these bonuses don't necessarily link specifically to this build, but of course the pieces themselves, we have more skill power, we again have destructive on both the pieces, and the really important thing worth calling out here is the talent on the backpack. This This right here is arguably the most important talent in this entire build, and that is skilled. Skill kills have a 25% chance to reset skill cooldowns. Now 25% doesn't sound that great, but in practice this does actually proc a little bit more frequently than you might imagine. There'll often be times where you are using the drone and you get the kill on the final explosion, it's already refreshed, meaning you have the drone to go again already, and factoring in that you also then have the Seeker Mine, so if for some reason the drone kill doesn't proc this, you then have another chance by blowing people up with the Seeker Mine. And that's of course where you can also switch to something like the turret. I mentioned earlier that if you wanted something that was out for a little bit longer, something that you could kind of passively throw out that can just get kills in the background, that again has a chance to proc this skill, then you might lean into a turret as your secondary skill. But again, that's entirely up to you. The main thing is skilled needs to be on this build because this is going to be how you're getting your drone back a lot of the time. On top of that, there's also a mod that gives you more skill power, more explosive damage. You get the picture. And as for your knee pad, China Light Industries, you only need one piece here. That gives you a further 10% explosive damage, more skill power, and more destructive. So you want destructive on basically everything. With all of this together, we have a whopping 138.5% explosion damage for the drone specifically. That then means your explosion damage for that is 451,951, which is pretty big, and it has a nice bomb radius of 5 meters. So all up, that's effectively how your build is going to work. You are going to use your drone, and you're going to take advantage of the fact that it has a larger blast radius, it has a ton of explosive damage, and you're then going to get your kills with the drone, whether it be in PvE, whether it be in PvP, this wrecks regardless because it's just a lot of damage, and then hopefully, provided that skilled talent procs, you will then be in a position where you can get your drone back again, and you can then rinse and repeat, and fire down explosive mayhem on all your enemies. It's a lot of fun to mess around with. Yes, a little bit unconventional, but you know what? It makes use of a skill that I personally really like, and I'm a big fan of taking skills that are sometimes not used as much and trying to make something out of them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, then a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see any builds for any maybe lesser used skills. Maybe you want to see something for that flame turret. I'm a good flame turret fan. If you guys remember back in the Division 1 days, flame turret was my jam. But if you want to see some builds for some lesser used skills, then let us know and we'll do our best. But for the time being, that's it, and keep it locked for plenty more Division videos. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the end game store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here. But once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.